YouTube, what's going on? Flag 1122, back again for synth pop review. This week's review is going to be talking about a band that very close to my heart and soul. I say that a lot about these 80s synth pop bands, but I love them all. Decided to choose this week Depeche Mode, and for my inaugural Depeche Mode review on this channel, I decided to go with Construction Time again. This is their first full-length LP. Hot on the heels of Speak and Spell and Broken Frame. I decided to choose this because this is one of my favorite Depeche Mode albums. I think this is the release that really just sort of set Depeche Mode on the track to being the band that we all know and love. It's also the first release that they decided to pick up Alan Wilder as the fourth member. And I think Alan Wilder, his fingerprints were all over this release. They had Alan Wilder when they were touring with the Broken Frame, during the Broken Frame tour, but he wasn't a full-time member of the band. Well, with this, they decided, well, Alan's a cool cat, we like him, he's a great musician. They decided to pick him up as the fourth member of the band, and thank God they did, because Depeche Mode, all the ingredients were in the pot. The soup was ready to go. The broth was almost finished, and right away, when you listen to this, you're gonna hear some fascinating sounds. This is the first release that they had that they sampled a lot of strange sounds. They went out and took their recorder and they sampled the members beating on pipes, and throwing gravel down the street, aerosol cans. They just went out and collected all these bizarre sounds, mixed them up, threw them into a synthesizer, and pure brilliance. Also, this release is really when they started using a lot of the industrial kind of sound. You hear Depeche Mode now, and you hear that industrial kind of goth sound. This is when they started doing that too. The first two releases were more, poppy releases, and then with Speak and Spell, their second album, it was definitely a transitional album. Vince Clarke had just left the band and went on, and through his own little pop adventure, and Martin Gore was left, holding all the peanuts, if you will. Had to step up as lead songwriter, and it was just kind of an unbalanced album. Although I like Broken Frame, especially Secret Garden on there, and there's some stuff to like. Very unbalanced album, but with this, it was really a redefinition, a rebuilding album, hence Construction Time. It's very appropriate. And with the rebuilding, they go, like I said before, they get Alan Wilder, and they grab Gareth Jones and as a sound as a producer and mixer. Gareth Jones went on to mix several of their albums after that. He's a genius in his own right as a producer, sound mixer. Gareth Jones also was one of the early pioneers of digital synthesizers, using that kind of technology. He used that old Synclavier sound sampling synthesizer, the old bulky thing. Also at the helm of producing was the always fabulous Daniel Miller, the founder of Mute Records. A lot of people were responsible for the sound of this. I think also Martin Gore's writing, he took it up a notch on this, with his lyrics, their last album, Broken Frame, he just, some of his lyrics, for me personally, just weren't quite up to snuff, but man, with this, it was just like an explosion. There's 10 tracks on this release. It's really 9 tracks and then kind of a 10th hidden song on here. That's about 49 minutes long, and like I said before, it came out in 1983. With this release, I think that the boys, especially Martin Gore and to a lesser extent Alan Wilder, they were being influenced with a lot of the German early industrial kind of electro strange sounds that were coming out of Germany. You'll find a lot of this on that. It's very almost a creepy kind of industrial goth. But they were definitely like some of the grandfathers of that sound. And Depeche Mode turned into a sound that we're familiar with when we listen to Depeche Mode now. This release comes with the single "Everything Counts," and that probably is one of their do all say all singles. you hear it all the time. It was played just to death. I like the song. Sometimes I go back and revisit it, but I'm a little bit burnt out of Everything Counts. For me personally on here, I like Pipeline, although I know a lot of people don't like the song Pipeline. I like it because it really does sample and showcase a lot of those strange sounds that I was talking about. And I also really like The Landscape is Changing. I'm going to go ahead and take it to that because that's one of my favorite songs on the album. It's kind of a strange song, and a lot of people don't like it, but I'm kind of a weird cat. But as far as this release is concerned, I mean, I just have the highest recommendation for it. I'm not going to give it a 5 out of 5. I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5 because it just keeps getting better from here. But this was the first album, I think, that kind of America started to take, come to the attention of America over here. A lot of clubs in New York and Chicago and Detroit started taking notice of Depeche Mode, and the DJs were playing in the kind of underground dance clubs like Funhouse in New York City and Factory and Detroit kind of hip-hop urban dance, DJs were playing it, and that's kind of cool. And then, in Europe also, in Germany, I think they were starting to get more recognition in Italy, and the rest of Europe. I believe it definitely sold better than A Broken Frame. I think it peaked in maybe number 6 in the UK album charts. I'm not sure about all the album chart numbers on this. I'm not going to go into all that. I love the sleeve presentation of this. I love the worker up there on the mountain with a big old sledgehammer. Kind of interesting little fact about this is they had to actually take this guy up there on a mountain and film him on the mountain helicopter. They didn't have all the computer technology and the photoshopping back then, so to fly this guy up there. It's really beautiful up there. When I think of Depeche Mode and their visual output, I always think of this picture. This is the 2-disc re-released version that was released in 2007. It's got supplemental disc, and it has a short film on there. It's about an hour long. It talks about what they went through making the album. It's all modern day interviews, even with Alan Wilder, even though he's left the band. It's very, very informative. I urge you to check it out if you're a Depeche Mode fan, a completist like I am. It's getting kind of hard to find. It's about $30, $35 online. It's also got a 5.1 sound mix of the whole album. You can throw it in your fantastic, sound setup. It sounds great at parties. Very, very, very nostalgic sound here. Very quirky, I think Gareth Jones. Hey guys, sorry about that. The camera turned off. Battery must have died. Spirits are all around me, sucking energy from my camera. Anyway, just a few more things to say about Construction Time again. I just wanted to mention the fact that I think it's very fortuitous for Alan Wilder to come on to Depeche Mode. I think he helped them shape the band into what they are today. I think he brought, with him a desire to expand the band and to broaden their horizons and make them take a few more risks, make them step outside of the box, if I can use that cliche. And I think that he guided the band into something magical, and I'm so pleased that Alan Wilder joined the band, and I was sad to see him go. I'll definitely talk about more about Alan Wilder's departure and future reviews. But that's pretty much all I wanted to say. Again, check out Construction Time again. You won't be sorry. Also, I want to point this out really quick. If you haven't seen this on my other channel, I made a video of this before, but if you haven't found this magazine or picked it up, I highly suggest you pick up The Ultimate Guide to Depeche Mode from Uncut Magazine from UK. It's just a complete history of the band in chronological order, release by release. Has classic interviews, brand new interviews, fabulous photographs of the band, full color. It's just a retrospective, and it's just a must-have for every Depeche Mode fan. Pick it up if you can find it. Found it at Barnes & Noble a couple months ago. I should have mentioned it earlier. You can probably find it online, though. It's kind of pricey, though. Even new, it was $13.99, but it was an import for us over here in the States. Anyway, that's all for me. Again, I'm sorry about the battery dying. It's the ghosts around here. Take care, and I'll be back real soon for another synth pop review. Cheers.